Meghan's father urges Queen to help heal rift with his daughter. Thomas Markle said he had been shunned by the Duchess of Sussex. The Duchess of Sussex's father Thomas Markle has appealed to the Queen to help heal the growing rift between himself and his daughter. Mr. Markle has claimed he is being shunned by Meghan, who he says has not spoken to him for months and does not reply to his daily text messages. The former lighting director also dismissed as gossip media reports his daughter was rude to staff, which some newspapers claim has contributed to an alleged rift between Meghan and the Duchess of Cambridge. He said Meghan had always been a very controlling person, which was part of her character, but she's never been rude. Speaking from San Diego during an interview with Good Morning Britain, Mr. Markle made a public appeal to his daughter to get in touch. He said, "I'm hopeful that soon something will be resolved and we'll be talking. This can't continue forever. People are saying I should be quiet about this and not speak. If I don't speak, they will speak to me. That hasn't happened. I don't plan to be silent for the rest of my life. I love my daughter very much and she has to know that. I would really appreciate if she would just call me, reach out to me somehow, send me a text, just say you're there and you're hearing me." Mr. Markle, who wore a jacket and shirt, appeared to show no ill effects from the reported heart attack he suffered in the days before Harry and Meghan married in May. He was due to meet the Queen in the run-up to the wedding before health issues forced him to cancel. Mr. Markle said he would like Harry's grandmother to intervene. "I would appreciate anything she could do," he said. Mr. Markle, who Good Morning Britain said was not paid for the interview, added, "I would think she would want to resolve family problems. All families, royal or otherwise, are the same, and they should all be together, certainly around the holidays." Meghan and Kate have been the subject of a series of media reports claiming there is a rift between the two duchesses. There have been allegations of a dispute over who reprimands staff, tensions during Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid dress fitting, and claims Harry and Meghan's move from London to Berkshire reflects the widening gulf between the women. Commenting on negative stories suggesting his daughter was rude to staff, Mr. Markle said, "I don't really believe them. I think they're gossip, and I don't really believe them. Meghan's always been a very polite girl. She's never been rude to anyone to my knowledge." He went on to say, "She's always been a very controlling person, and that's part of her nature. She's never been rude. The ghosting I don't completely understand. To my knowledge she's always been in charge, that's her nature, but she's always been polite with it." It is thought Mr. Markle last spoke to Meghan during the wedding period, and since then his daughter and her husband Harry have announced they are expecting their first child in the spring. In the run-up to the wedding, Mr. Markle was caught up in controversy after he allegedly staged paparazzi photographs of himself and then began commenting regularly to entertainment website TMZ about his contact with his daughter. The 74-year-old suggested the Duke and Duchess may have decided to ghost him, where a loved one disappears without explanation after being influenced by press reports about him. He said, "I've only done 5 interviews, and out of those interviews hundreds of other people come, and they get a story and they give a story and they say I've said these things. I haven't said so many things, but they're believing it, and apparently that's why I'm being shunned or ghosted." The 74-year-old also said, "I've been quiet for 6 months, and no one's returned anything back to me. No one's said a word to me. I'm confused by it." With Meghan and Harry's baby due early next year, Mr. Markle said, "I think she'll make a great mum, and maybe things will soften a little bit, and we'll connect again. There has to be a place for me. I'm her father, and I will be the grandfather to the children, so all I can say is that I'm here, she knows it." Doria Ragland steps out in law after turning down the Queen's invitation to spend Christmas with the royals and pregnant daughter Meghan in the UK. Meghan Markle's mother was spotted getting on with business as usual on Monday, heading out to run errands in the week leading up to Christmas Day. Doria Ragland's appearance in Los Angeles came on the same day it was confirmed she will not spend Christmas with the British royals this year, despite Queen Elizabeth II extending the rare invite for a non-royal during Meghan's first festive season in the family. Ragland, 62, appeared to be in high spirits as she opted for the California sun with a male friend instead of jetting to the UK for the holiday. The new Duchess of Sussex's mother donned all black as she walked to her vehicle clutching woolly items and loaded items into her trunk. Ragland, a yoga teacher and social worker, was in her comfort zone surrounded by a pair of dogs, and she and her smiling companion made stateside preparations. She politely declined the Queen's offer of spending December 25 at Sandringham, People reported. Speaking to Vanity Fair, a royal source said the invitation to Sandringham was offered partly because the Queen was so impressed by Ms. Ragland at the wedding of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex at Windsor Castle in May. An invitation for Doria would break with royal precedent, as even the Middleton family has not been invited to stay at the Norfolk estate. The Duchess of Cambridge's family has joined the royals at church on Christmas morning, but they have stayed at nearby Anmer Hall rather than Sandringham itself. While other spouses that have married into the family don't usually have the privilege of relatives joining in the Norfolk-based celebrations, pregnant Markle doesn't have family in the United Kingdom to split her time with during the holidays. American Markle will spend the festive period with Prince Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and other royals. It's where the royals have been enjoying the Yuletide every year since 1988. Ragland will also not be moving in with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex when they welcome their first child next year. On Monday, Meghan's estranged half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. said the clan would gather at the home of her grandmother Jeanette Ragland for Christmas dinner. He said Meghan's mother Doria would cook the Christmas dinner. Doria and her family were probably the biggest anchors of family unity when it came to holidays. Their entire family would get together over at Doria's mom's house, and our family hadn't done that for many years when I was growing up. We just did that a few times as young children in Chicago. But as far as when Meghan was a child, Doria has a big family and everybody got together, her sisters, her dad, her grandfather, her mom, and then of course us and Meghan. There was always that big family homey feeling because everybody was happy, everybody was in a good mood, everybody left their baggage outside the door, and it was all about family, which was pretty important. It was nice. He issued another plea for family unity and said he fears his father will spend Christmas alone without even a card from the Duchess to console him. This comes after her Thomas Markle Sr., 74, revealed in a Good Morning Britain interview the same day that he has been making daily attempts to contact his daughter and wishes to reconcile. Thomas Jr. said to Daily Mail, "I think when she sees the difference between the Christmas she spends at the palace and she doesn't have her family around her, I think she'll realize that she's missing something." Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis don't keep all their Christmas gifts. The royal family has had quite the year, but luckily, things are about to wind down as Christmas is just around the corner. For many people, Christmas is all about giving and getting as many presents as possible. But for the Cambridge kids, gifts are looked at a bit differently during Christmas time. In fact, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis's Christmas presents do not all come home with them to Kensington Palace after the holiday, and the reasons why actually make a lot of sense. Ahead of last Christmas, the Daily Mail spoke with a Kensington Palace spokesperson about what Prince William and Catherine, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge do with the thousands of gifts that fans and supporters send their children for Christmas. Some items will be taken into the home and others stored within the royal household, the spokesperson told the outlet. On occasion, and where appropriate, items may be donated to organizations who can make good use of them. Their Royal Highnesses are incredibly grateful for the warmth and generosity that has been extended to their children from members of the public. Basically, George, Charlotte, and Louis will get to keep some of the gifts, others will go into royal storage, perhaps for regifting purposes. Just kidding, and some will be donated to charity. This totally makes sense. As the Daily Mail mentioned, the family literally receives thousands of gifts. It would be impractical, not to mention, it would make their house very crowded to keep them all. Additionally, letting children receive that many toys at once may be spoiling them a bit too much. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex faced a similar situation after their wedding this year. People buzzed about what would happen with gifts the newlyweds received. As Express reported at the time, the palace's guidelines regarding gifts from fans is as follows: gifts offered by private individuals living in the UK not personally known to the member of the royal family should be refused where there are concerns about the propriety or motives of the donor or the gift itself. Based on that quote, royals have the right to refuse or send back any presents they do not feel comfortable keeping. Furthermore, the royal family usually refuses gifts from businesses so as not to provide any companies with free advertising, as per the cheat sheet. That said, the royals have plenty of exciting Christmas plans on the books this year besides getting presents. A few weeks ago, Kate's mom Carol Middleton told The Telegraph that her daughter, son-in-law, and grandkids would be spending Christmas at her and her husband's Bucklebury, England home. Carol even places an extra Christmas tree in each of her grandchildren's bedrooms so that they can decorate it themselves, she told The Telegraph, as reported by People. However, shortly after that interview, People reported that Will, Kate, George, Charlotte, and Louis, as well as Harry and Meghan, will be celebrating Christmas at the Sandringham estate in Norfolk with the Queen. It's unclear if the family of five is not seeing Grandma and Grandpa Middleton in favor of staying in Sandringham for the entire holiday, or if they are going to split their time between the two families. Either way, here's hoping Kensington Palace releases adorable new Christmas photos of the royal kiddos, maybe with a gift or two, if we're lucky. After a very frustrating first birth experience, this deaf mother wanted a change. Will the help of two deaf doulas give the quality communication and birth experience this mom wants and deserves? Watch episode 4 of Romper's Doula Diaries, season 2, below, and visit Bustle Digital Group's YouTube page for more episodes.
If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.